What if I told you there's one habit, one seemingly harmless daily behavior that's silently draining your energy, crushing your self-confidence, and trapping you in a life that feels stuck on repeat? You wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, and like you're living in a fog. It's as if something invisible has wrapped around your potential, holding you back no matter how hard you try to move forward. But here's the twist. What if the key to unshakable self-control and true masculinity has been right in front of you the whole time? What if everything you need to break free from this trap is already within you, just waiting to be unlocked? Stick with me, because after you hear this, you won't just understand the truth, you'll feel it. And you'll never look at this so-called harmless habit the same way again. We're diving into a topic that rarely gets talked about openly. It makes people uncomfortable. Most pretend it's not a big deal. Some say it's completely natural. Others argue it's even good for you. But what if that's a lie we've been sold for generations? What if this habit that society brushes off as normal is the very thing keeping men from reaching their potential? Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that heavy sense of regret after giving in? That wave of emptiness, like a part of you just slipped away for nothing? That moment when the high fades and you're left with guilt, fatigue, and a quiet voice in your head asking, why do I keep doing this? That's not coincidence, that's not weakness. That's a signal that your mind, your body, and your spirit are out of sync. And today, we're going to realign them using the wisdom of the Stoics, those ancient masters of self-mastery who lived with power, purpose, and clarity. Why this habit is slowly destroying you. Let's cut to the core. Every time you indulge in this habit, whether it's scrolling endlessly for pleasure, wasting your sexual energy, or feeding a craving for instant gratification, your brain floods with dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical of reward. It gives you that feel-good sensation, that artificial boost. And at first, it feels amazing. Your body loves it. Your brain lights up. But here's the catch. The more you indulge in this quick pleasure, the more your brain builds a tolerance. You need more and more just to feel that same hit. And before you know it, you're not in control anymore. It is. You become a slave to short-term pleasure. Your energy drops. Your focus disappears. Your ambition starts to fade. Why pursue long-term goals when your brain has already gotten its reward? The ancient Stoics saw this trap coming thousands of years ago. They didn't have neuroscience, but they had awareness. They watched how people who chased comfort became weak, how those who pursued pleasure without discipline became hollow. They knew that a man who cannot control himself will eventually lose everything: his drive, his purpose, his identity. And science today proves it. Chronic overindulgence in easy dopamine, from digital addiction to porn to lazy escapism, rewires your brain. It makes it harder to feel motivated, harder to stay disciplined, and harder to chase what truly matters. But here's the good news. If you can identify the trap, you can escape it. How ancient truths expose modern lies. Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." Let that sink in. Every time you surrender to fleeting temptation, you're giving up a little piece of your freedom, and it adds up. The Stoics weren't against pleasure. They weren't monks living in caves. They were warriors, emperors, advisors, and creators. They lived full lives, but they mastered one key thing: discipline over desire. They believed that true strength wasn't about resisting life's pleasures, it was about not needing them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, journaled daily about self-control. He believed that real freedom came not from doing whatever you want, but from not needing to. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let me break that down. Your strength isn't found in chasing dopamine hits. It's found in training your mind to seek higher meaning. When you need nothing, you become unstoppable, and history proves it. Every man who rose above the crowd, whether it was a great general, a visionary creator, or a fearless leader, had one thing in common. They controlled their urges. They didn't let their impulses dictate their path. And because of that, they reached levels of greatness that others only dream of. The solution? 3 Stoic principles that set you free. So now the question becomes, how do you do it? How do you break free from this invisible chain that's been pulling you down? How do you stop feeding the habit that steals your energy and start living with true power? It comes down to 3 timeless principles: self-discipline, purpose, transmutation. Let's break each one down. Number 1, self-discipline. Self-discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about being harsh or cold or living like a machine. It's about choice. The choice to pursue what's truly meaningful, even when it's hard. Epictetus said it best: freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Every time you choose to say no to an urge, you're building mental strength. You're rewiring your brain. You're reminding yourself, I'm in charge, not my cravings. It's like lifting weights. At first, it's heavy. You want to give up. But with repetition, with consistency, you become stronger. Eventually, the thing that used to control you loses its power. That's the first step. Discipline isn't restriction, it's a declaration. I choose greatness over gratification. Number 2, purpose. Now, here's the truth. You can't just remove a habit, you have to replace it. That's where purpose comes in, because the real reason most men get stuck in this loop isn't just weakness, it's emptiness. A lack of something greater to focus on, a lack of direction, a lack of fire. The Stoics taught that a man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, tossed around by every wave. But the moment you set a direction, build a business, master a craft, chase a goal that challenges you, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, your desire for empty pleasure starts to vanish. Ask yourself, what am I building? If the answer is nothing, then that's exactly why the habit has room to thrive. Find your purpose. It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be real. Something that demands your best effort and gives you a reason to wake up ready to win. Number 3, transmutation. This principle is where everything comes together. Transmutation means redirecting your sexual and mental energy towards something productive. It's the process of converting primal urges into ambition, creativity, and drive. This isn't woo-woo, it's backed by history. Nikola Tesla, the genius inventor, chose celibacy to focus on his work. He understood the cost of wasting energy on things that didn't build legacy, and he used that power to change the world. The Stoics knew this too. They believed that when you conserve your vital energy and channel it into meaningful action, you become unstoppable. When you redirect your focus from momentary pleasure to legacy-building action, your entire life begins to transform. Your confidence rises, your productivity explodes. Your presence becomes magnetic because you're no longer leaking power, you're storing it, sharpening it, and releasing it with purpose. What really happens when you quit? Now picture this. You wake up tomorrow with unshakable confidence. You look in the mirror and like what you see. Not because of how you look, but because of who you're becoming. There's no more guilt, no more shame. Just clarity, strength, and a deep sense of control. Your testosterone levels increase. Your focus sharpens. Your energy is no longer scattered. It's directed. And suddenly things that used to feel impossible start to feel inevitable. That's what happens when you quit. When you say no to what's holding you back, you make space for everything that can pull you forward. You don't just gain your time back, you gain yourself back. So now it's decision time. Will you keep living on repeat? letting this silent habit chip away at your greatness? Or will you break the cycle and take the path that leads to real power? Will you stay trapped in comfort? Or will you rise above it and become the man you were meant to be? Remember, no great man in history was ruled by his desires. The ones who made history were the ones who mastered themselves first. So if you're ready to break free, claim your potential, and start walking the path of a true Stoic, subscribe now. This is the beginning of your journey to self-mastery, and it starts right now.